Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are at episode 30 of Uncut Exceptions mini sessions. Today we have Dorell. Welcome back to the live streams. Dorell will be sharing with us about how to get started with Sanity. So, looking forward to this. Dorell, it's go time.
Okay, all right. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, let's talk about how we can get started with Sanity IO. And let me pull in my presentation bit. All right. So here we go. Yeah. So I hope you're seeing this screen that I'm presenting. So yeah. So this is the Sanity logo. Yeah, this is our topic. Get started with sanity.io. So if you go to sanity.io, you'll see their website, and in there, their very big tagline is a unified content platform powers better digital experiences. But what we mean with that is that Sanity.io has this hosted backend for your structured content, and then they have this powerful graph-oriented API as well. Then plus a fully customizable content editor that you will surely love. So, and it's also built with React. To get started with Sanity, oh, by the way, it's easier to think because this kind of like description is kind of like you know wrapping a lot of things, but if you think of it as a headless CMS, I think it's better to think it that way. Yeah, so it's not monolithic. Okay, so it's very the opposite of monolithic apps. Okay, all right. So let's get started with Sanity, and the way to get started is basically you install the CLI. There's no other way to do this, but we really have to go with this. And we're gonna be using npm here, so we need Node.js here. So I'm gonna go and npm install -g sanity CLI and sanity init. So make sure in a mp folder. All right. As you can see it, you can see right here. Maybe let's go full screen here. You can see that the CLI is installed currently at version 2.10, and here, since I already have an account and I'm already logged in, I'm able to create a new project. So here, let's create a new project. Okay, and let's call this UE. Let's just say that we're going to create a blog website right now. So we're gonna be creating a blog for our website. So yeah, so I type in UE-blog here. Okay. Oops, so it's taking so long. Am I still here? Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm still in the stream. And seems like my internet is acting up. No. Let's do this again. Mm, about that. New project. UE blog. Hmm. Strange. Oh no. Hmm. I don't know what's happening, but seriously.
Yeah, the demo gods are not with you today, Dorel.
Hey, boy. Something, something's really screwing up the. Oh no. Create UE blog. let's see, 5, 4. All right, so it's here. Oh, okay, UA blog, and now it has here you will just be using the default one, which is the production. So you can think of the data set as a kind of like a a database. So you can probably if you have another like staging, but let's just stick with the production. So you can use that. And it's creating a data set right now, and let's make use of this path as well. So just enter. And now here, you have multiple templates that you can choose, and you can either go from scratch or select from either one of this. Since we're going to create a blog, let's go create this. Choose this one. Okay. All right. Seems like it's working now. My internet. Jeez. All right, resolving dependencies. Okay. So one thing I love about Sanity is really their Sanity, what you call this Sanity Studio. It allows basically any type of user to be able to work around it, and it's really customizable. It's flexible enough to cater to different workflows that you need for your your organization or your team or whatever. Yeah, I hope I'll be able to share more on that. But since this is the how it's just getting started thing, maybe we'll stick with the basics, so not let's not you know make ourselves even more difficult to understand like all of these things. So right now we're still setting up the Sanity project. So we're using Sanity init here in its command. You'll need again the Sanity CLI in order to get started with this one. So if you go to sanity.io here, now content data, right? Sanity is this one. If you go to get started, um, you can you really need to go with the CLI here or choose the kind of like official starters. So for example, if you have Next.js and e-commerce, all of these things, the back end is the Sanity. So all of this blog with Gatsby, so it's powered, the content, the back end is powered with Sanity IO. So but here we're choosing to use the CLI in order to get our hands dirty and better understand how someone like you could create a starter like this and work towards, using Sanity in your headless or maybe in a mobile app or any UI, or I mean any view that you wanted to appear. All right, so it's done. So we have successfully bootstrapped a Sanity project. And from here on, we can start the Sanity Studio, all right? So so this is the current directory, and let me start the Sanity Studio using Sanity start command, and let's also open up this in a code editor. I'm using this code here. All right. Okay. All right. Let's make this a little bit bigger. All right. So this is the current folder structure. And the very important thing here that you must take notice is the sanity.json. And every Sanity project has this project ID, and since earlier this also have a data set, we use the default configuration, and now it's assigned to production. So If you want to interact with Sanity, especially the API, you need to get hold of this project ID. And this is really important for you to kind of like take notice. All right. You also have this plugins directory, but for now, let's not go into this one. We have here a schema. So this is where you actually do content modeling. So here, since we choose a blog, we already have a schema for a blog post, a category for a certain post, and an author for who is writing, who authored the post. So something like that. So in order to make sense of these files, we will take a look at Sanity Studio. So we started earlier Sanity Studio using the command sanity start, and now we're able to go to localhost 333 tree for trees, and from here you need to log in. So by the way, I think I skipped the part where you need to sign up for a Sanity account. So here you can go to, oh no, let me open up another. Okay. So to sign up an account, you need to, hmm, yeah. You can either, there are many, there are three ways in order for you to create an account. You can go with Google, you can go with GitHub, you can choose to sign up using an email or your email or password, and then you can click this one. So yeah, my account happens to be using login with GitHub, so everything is in here. All right, and you're gonna be using in the login provider GitHub here, so I can log in. All right. Okay. Now we are in the studio. So as you can you can notice, we have here on the left, we have a post, we have an author, we have a category. And if we try to match it with the kind of like, you know, in our schema here, if you go to schema.js, maybe let's print that. Um, we are kind of like importing the building blocks we have here for an author, for author for a post or a category, and then we kind of like expose this in the studio by providing this in an array, post and author in a category, and that's why you see it right here. And then if you go to post, all right, and if we go like click new here. Right. These fields will match up. So we have here a title, name title. We have here a slug. So here we have a slug. We have here an author. So an author is a reference of the type author. So if you go here, author, you have here a name, a slug as well. So if you go to author, you have here a name. So let's say let's fill this out. So we can here type in can have, yeah, I don't want the name. Can upload an image. Yeah, let's use Tanjiro here. Okay, pretty easy. And then this is my bio. Okay. And we can hit publish. Okay. Okay, now we have an author. In this post, we can populate. Since this is a reference of the author, so we can use this drop down to populate the author. That's me. So yeah, and say first blog post. And you can click generate, or you can customize that to however you want. Blog post with custom slug. All right, and you can choose to upload a custom image. What should we use here? Let's use this. Lovers Cebu Friday nights. Which happened yesterday. Banner. Okay, so yep, and you can add a category if you want to, and this is also a reference. Right now we still don't have it, so we have to go create a category here, and let's say this is about web development. So web development, all right, and we can go back to our post, our first blog post. We can click here to minimize it. And here we have the category of web development. Yep. And the publish at, we're going to assign it to now. So let's go to current time and date. And then this is the body. This is the body of my first blog post. All right. And I can say publish. All right. So we have here a, you know, just like a typical database, you when you work on kind of like inserting data in a database, you work on designing tables, right? So um, Sanity is like that in a way that you kind of like need to design the the fields that you need, the schema, the content model. So, for example, in a blog, you need to design what are the fields in your post that you need to kind of like add. So you have here a default, a title, a author, a slug, sure, right? So it's like that. Yeah, and let's say we want to add some fields in our default schema. So what we're gonna do is, since this is a JavaScript file, we just need to provide it. What is it? Let's say we add an excerpt and say excerpt. So an excerpt is a kind of like a short summary of what you kind of like want to do. I mean, what your blog post is. So yep, and it's gonna rebuild your bundle, and now you have here field that you can add. So this is my blog excerpt. Okay, and you can publish, and you can inspect and see how your data is kind of like what this blog post, your data kind of look like. So here we have an author and a reference to this kind of like ID. So if you fetch a document with this ID, and it will return you the author, right? And you also have here an array of categories, which is kind of like a reference as well with this current ID that will refer back to web development. Yeah, yeah. And also this main image, so reference as well. Yeah, and publish that, and so on and so forth. So this is how it's gonna look like, guys. And if you interact with Sanity API, basically whatever you see right here, how this is structured, that is also how you will able to, what the response you will get. So yeah, another cool feature about working with Sanity is that it updates things real time. Plus, you're able to deploy your Sanity Studio in a command like this. Say UE blog, and yeah, I can deploy anytime, anywhere. It's so easy to work in with Sanity. And I don't know about you, but most people, if you're not a dev, you will need to find a way to, hand off your project and allow them to edit some certain parts of it, maybe a content, maybe a custom configuration, whatever that is. And Sanity is perfect for your needs. In terms of that, yeah. There's still things that I want to show you, but let's wait for a bit until this Sanity Studio is deployed. So once again, I issue the command sanity deploy, and it will take care of all the things for us. And then it will show up in ue blog.sanity.studio. And now, yep, it's a success. And here, basically, we have here two things, basically the left and the right. So it's pretty much the same thing. Yep. So, yep. And imagine that there are two people working on this one. So I was earlier, I said that this is real time. So if I edit this one, maybe second blog post, as you can see, the content on the left, I mean on the right, is updated as soon as I change it on the left side. And if I go to here, yeah, here we update the title. So vice versa. Sanity comes with a really powerful HTTP API with subscription. Oh, sorry, Sanity. No, yeah. With a listen endpoint where you can set up webhooks for
Hello, Dorell. You are muted.
how
Okay.
long did I go on mute just now or
Just 5 seconds ago. Yeah,
oh,
don't worry.
okay. I was like, oh no. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so um yeah. So once again, guys, what I showed you here is that um, in order to make use of Sanity, and especially the main focus here is the Sanity Studio. This is where you kind of like be able to work on your content. So okay, so it allows you to specify fields with different types, like a string or a text, or maybe an image. So if you have an image, then you can upload the image however you want it. Plus, another cool feature is that you can have this, you can edit this, and you can work on cropping as well as a hotspot for your kind of like if I want here to be able to focus really on the Friday, then yeah, in every type of like 3/4 square or aspect ratio 16:9, then I'll be able to see the Friday night and everything. I can close this one. Yeah. um hmm, yep. Another thing I want to talk is this vision here. If in episode 19 of UE conceptions, episode 19, I talked about group, and here it is where this is a group, basically playground where you're able to get data out from Sanity. So you can say like everything of type post, right? So yeah. So we have here two results. One is the state of a draft, and the second is I mean the published one. Yep, and right. And say let's also hear the author, right? Right. And maybe I just want the title. I mean the name. So there's no title in the author, so I want to pick up the name, right? Right. And maybe I want to um, count how many posts do I have. So say count, or yeah, count, and everything of type post, and offer Let's not do that for a while. Oops. What am I missing here? I'm not sure. Oh no. Kawawan ko. Ginago kay Bao. Anyhow, so you can do a lot of things here. But why is it not working like that? It's just kind of weirding me out. Yep. So this is like, if you go to sanity.io, the docs group, you will learn about graph, their query language. This is their primary kind of like way of getting data, interacting with your data. You need to write queries, but you can also choose. If you kind of like don't like it, you can choose alternatively use GraphQL to be able to do that. Another thing is they have, yeah, if you want to work with traditional REST API, then they have this HTTP API that you can use. All right. But if you want to make your life easier, then you can go to JavaScript, the client library here, and you can use the Sanity client. So here, be able to install it because it's also an npm package. So you just need to initialize using the project ID and a dataset. And recently they provided, they have this new feature where you can specify the API version based on date. So yeah, and a token for, yeah, if you set your data set to private, then you need to use a token in order to make use of the API to send authenticated requests and a CDN. Yeah, so always just it ensures that the data that you're getting is fresh data. Okay. Yeah. So I want to get back why Sanity. Let's try to understand why they are saying that Sanity is the unified content platform and how does it relate to being headless. Okay. So in a traditional monolithic app, everything is really closely tied up from your back end to your content to your view, for example, a website. So these things are so coupled, right? And if you want to make use of your data outside a website, it's gonna be really, really hard because number one, traditionally you will have to create an API in order to work on your data. But Sanity is different because as soon as you put in data, they also have this. I mean, as soon as you put in data using the Sanity Studio, you'll you'll also have by default access to their powerful HTTP API, and or you can make use of Grook or GraphQL, and you can build in any view that you like, maybe mobile, maybe any car, driving apps, hospitals, kiosks, whatever. Anyway, I'm so out of words right now. But anyhow, so this is just an introduction, guys, and there's so many more things that you could make use of Sanity. One particularly is it, although I only showed you here the Sanity Studio, but using their API, you can really create and make it use it as a backend for your application. And the Sanity also, you can make use of it in a serverless environment. So it can be really like a serverless Sanity CMS. Serverless CMS, by the way, that's the term. It's kind of like a nature where a CMS can run in a serverless environment. Okay. What else? There's so many things that you need to explore, but once you get the hang of it, Yeah, you'll be able to really work fast on these things. There's so many resources that you can go. You can go to resources, documentation. You have also like reference, and there's so many guides that were created. Plus, if you want to extend the Sanity Studio, like for example, this Vision plugin, this is a plugin. So can go to tools and plugin, and you have a lot of plugins here already from the community. So aside from the official plugins that Sanity provides, so have here, right? And one thing that's really important and close to my heart is that the Sanity, the community is really amazing, right? Sanity, that's luck.com. Yep. Mm, yeah, and this is where you kind of like you can ask them anything, and they're going to really try to respond in your queries. And I guess that's it for my talk. All right. Hi, hi.
Nice. Thanks for sharing about that, Dorell. Um,
Oh, the focus
you
is.
are so out of focus.
All right.
Okay. So I have, let's see. I know we don't have any questions from the comments, but I have a question about Sanity Studio.
Mm,
So when you want to like modify like the fields in your content types, you can only do that by directly changing it in the schema files.
yeah.
The is there does Sanity Studio UI provide like a web-based UI to modify them, or you have to like modify it from the code?
Yeah, you have. I don't know. I don't know. Like they really I don't know, kind of like advocate that you kind of like version control your content model or by using their schema, and you have to write it down just like that, because you can upload in a repo and you can roll back whatever it is. Yeah, it also gets tracked in that way. Yeah, that's the kind of like idea. There's for the best of my knowledge, that's the only way. Yeah, you need to kind of like edit the schema
Okay.
that way.
Uh, Another question is, so the when you run the Sanity Studio, that your data is already being stored directly in like Sanity's platform. It's not stored in like a local DB or
Mm,
something.
yeah. So
Cool.
yes, as soon as you kind of like edit stuff or work on the Sanity Studio, everything in there is stored in Sanity server. But the cool thing is you're able to export your data if you want to, kind of like migrate or however it is like that. If you also have an existing data, for example, you have a blog in WordPress, then you can actually there are some tools that you can use to easily migrate your data into Sanity and have it like that. Mm, yeah. So there's so many ways right away.
Okay. So for development purposes, can you use Sanity Studio offline if it needs to store data on like Sanity Studio's platform directly?
Sanity Studio, the best of my knowledge is you need an internet, so you can't work
Yeah.
off. That's because the content, your data is hosted in their server, so you need to communicate in their server in order to get that.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Based on your demo, that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so I think I still have other more questions. For Sanity Studio, can you control like which other users have access to the studio, or like
Mm.
give permissions to other users to like modify.
The certain parts.
Yes.
That's if let me show my. Maybe it helps if I, kind of like. So what we did here, UE blog. Lo, ni kaging akong kuhan.
you're you're yellow by.
No, what is happening? Oh, oh, the odds are not with me tonight.
Okay na.
Okay, it kind of like hang up. So here, yeah. So in a given project, you can have like you can add more people. At least you have three people here, including yourself. You can assign a role like administrator, so be able to manage all the aspects. You have here a read and write, etc., and also a read. But in the studio here, if you want to kind of like uh, maybe if I invite you and let's say I want you to be able to just be work on the post. You cannot touch the author or the category. As far as I'm concerned, that's not possible. So you don't have that fine control right now. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. What else? Yeah, I think that's all my questions for now.
Yeah.
Um, any last words, Dorel? No, we don't have any questions.
Oh, it feels like I'm dying with the last words.
It's all right. So I hope you guys watching this stream or this video in the future learn something from Dorel this evening about Sanity, and if you start using it, please you can share it with us or Dorel, like how you're using Sanity. And yes, with that, I think that's the end of our stream for tonight. And see you next time. We do this live stream every Saturday, 9 p.m. So hope you can join us next week. And that's all for tonight. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.